I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Airewa. Hi.
Hello.
I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay. I am Airewa TV. I am the internet's favorite sucky barista. I run a small cafe in the second circle hell called the Cinnamon Cafe, spelled Sin. We mostly play horror games, but every now and then I branch out. I do something silly. I'm fairly new to the streaming world, so I'm just happy to be here.
Do you have any sugar-free stuff in that bakery?
Yes, we do. Not a whole lot, though.
Well, that's okay. As long as there's something for me, I'll stop by.
Yeah,
when I'm on my way.
there's something for you. I think I could get you a croissant.
That's perfectly fine. I like croissants. When did you get started? Fairly recently, you said.
So I've been streaming for just over 2 months.
Now you're off to a good start then.
Yeah, I'm off to a fantastic start. I'm
What?
actually doing a streamathon right now
Oh my gosh.
because we're trying to hit 250 followers by Halloween.
Mm.
And I'm already off to a great start.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing a follow-a-thon, streamathon. We're doing what I'm calling Summerween.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just I'm going to pack July full of as many streams as I can.
Oh boy.
And it's going to just be horror game after horror game after horror game.
You're gonna scare the pants off everybody that shows up. Is basically what you're gonna do.
Of course.
Man, that's the way to do it. Well, you're well on. You'll hit that. I have no doubt about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Especially because we're doing another streamathon in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
This one I will not stop yapping about. My entire fan base knows about it.
Mhm.
We're gonna do Streamtober, and I'm going to stream 5 or 6 times a week every single day of October.
Oh.
Pretty much almost every single day of October.
Oh.
And then to cap it off for Halloween, we are playing every single Five Nights at Freddy's game in one setting.
Oh man, alive.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be fun.
I wish you luck with that one for sure.
Yes, of course.
So the question now is, why did you get started in VTubing?
So this sounds weird because I don't come from like conventional VTuber backgrounds. Like I don't come from like, oh, I watched Iron Mouse and I thought she was super cool. Up until a year ago, I had no idea who VTubers were.
Right.
Like I distinctly remember texting my friend and being like, I found this really cool VTuber. I don't know her though. Her name is Shy Lily. And my friend was like, that is like one of the biggest VTubers. And I was like, oh. But I got started in VTubing because for a long time, I think I've been watching streamers since I was like too young to be on the internet. But I've been watching them for so long and I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. And like, I realized growing up that like streaming would probably be a better avenue for me because I like the engagement of the fans.
Right.
And so I wanted to be a streamer, but I realized that like putting your face on the internet is so daunting because you can never take that back. And I know that it sounds idealistic to be like, and if I become famous, but if I became famous from doing streaming, I wouldn't want my face on the internet because I do want to be a mom one day. So my biggest issue was I don't want that to affect my kids.
Right.
So when I found out that VTubing was a thing, I was like, hey, wait, you mean I can be a streamer and have a face on the internet without it being my face?
Right.
Like that was kind of what inspired me. And I, believe it or not, didn't know anything about VTubing until about 2 months before my debut, and I had been advertising myself to hell and back, just going on and on and on, being like, I'm gonna debut on April 24th, come see my debut on April 24th, and advertising paid off. My debut went fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But when people ask me like, so who got you into VTubing? I'm like, so there's this one streamer that I'm friends with who I met through my best friend's boyfriend. And he has about the same number of followers as I do now. So it was very much like very humble beginnings. Like I never really got into Hololive. I never got into Bishojo, like things like that.
Yeah.
I was just very much like I want to be myself without showing who I am.
Well, have you been
Like,
have you been someone who wanted to be a performer?
yes,
Mm,
when I was younger, I was in choir for 4 years.
mm.
I did fine arts pretty
Oh,
much all of school.
oh, she did.
Uh,
They did fine arts,
yeah,
did they? Yes, of course.
fine arts.
Fine art, the finest, only the
But
finest
yes,
of art.
uh, I am an artist. I am a performer. I'm very much like a comedian.
Mm.
So for me, streaming really just like combined my love of gaming and my love of performing and making people happy. Um, Plus, who complains about getting paid to play video games?
Yeah, absolutely. In the end, that's what it comes down to some of the time.
Absolutely.
But you, I mean, obviously, once you started doing it, it's really clicked for you, hasn't it?
Absolutely. The thing that people you see, it's funny because people on Twitter were like, "Don't plan a debut, just start because you need a fan base for your debut to go successfully." And then I just advertised myself so much that I had a good debut without having a fan base.
Yeah,
And um nobody warned me that after my first stream, there would come the emptiness of when's my next stream? I want to stream right now.
right.
Cause it's clicked with me so well that every single time I end a stream, I'm like, whew, that was fun. When's my next stream?
Turned it right back on again. Here I am.
Right, right, exactly. Just, hey, I know we just rated out, but like, hi, I'm back.
The encore stream. That's what we'll call that with the
Of
encore.
course.
The So it's fitted. Obviously, it's fit you like a glove. Um,
Yes.
Now, right now, you're on Twitch only right now.
Yeah, I'm Twitch only because I know nothing about streaming.
Yeah.
I joke with my fans a lot, but the joke is not a joke when I tell them that I spent the 4 hours before my debut watching YouTube videos on how to be a streamer.
Well, I mean, obviously it sunk in. I mean, it
Yeah.
worked. You know.
The the thing that I find interesting about VTubing versus flesh tubing is that VTubing you constantly have to up your game.
Mm,
Um like you constantly have to improve your technology. You constantly have to pay attention to the trends. You have to consistently look for how could I improve my model? How could I be better?
right.
With flesh tubing, you just turn on your camera and you're like, "Hey guys." Uh
Yeah.
And I find that to be such an interesting difference. Like,
Mm,
I have all of the respect in the world for flesh tubers and VTubers alike, but there is a certain level of difficulty that comes with VTubing that I never anticipated, and
mm.
I find it so interesting.
It is. I mean, well, it is in a way because you have to build a world around your avatar
Yes, I've
in a
been
way.
working on building the world around my avatar recently.
Yeah.
Um, this isn't like a spoiler for anything, but I am working on a lore video. I am talking to my artist about making like a physical manifestation of chat and of my mods. We have joked that my mods are the little imps that I've brought with me from hell, and they just work for me now. And so we're working on like art of those kinds of things right now.
Folks, before we even got started, Ari told me you got to keep an eye on me because I'm going to spoil everything.
I'm a yapper. I've got a master's degree in yapology over here.
a doctor Yap. That's what.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dr. Yap,
uh,
here I am.
uh, but really, it just sounds like this has fit you to a T. And
Yes.
and
Um,
even though you haven't got a presence on YouTube yet, you have been archiving things on Twitch, so people can check out what you have been doing.
yes, absolutely. I have been working on uploading VODs. I'm very behind on that though. I'm not gonna blame my neurodivergence, but I am forgetful. So the last VOD I uploaded was 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I finished that game. I should probably finish uploading the VODs.
But folks can check out what you have been doing now. Um,
Yes.
Now, you made a great point when you talked about advertising yourself and getting yourself out there. It's that way with any type of entertainment industry. If you're looking to build an audience, it happens to the radio people. You have to
Oh,
advertise.
absolutely.
You have to find your audience and draw them in. But even so, once you get somebody to look at what you're doing, you have to keep them there. And
Yes.
it is also obvious that you have the personality to do that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so
Um,
that does make a big difference.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like VTubing, while it is 100% who you are, there is also the element of who you know.
Hmm.
Um, because like I said, when I got started, I only really knew like three VTubers.
Hmm.
And all of them are, well, one of them is a friend, one of them is like somebody I look up to, things like that.
Right.
But there are people that I actively engage with fairly often. Um, and so when I first got started, I was advertising myself on Twitter. I was doing a lot of networking, things like that.
Hmm.
And actually my closest friend in streaming, he is he's somebody where I replied to one of his tweets because he was like, "Hey, I'm looking for people to raid out to at the end of my streams." And I was like, "Ah, whatever. What's the worst that can happen?" And I dropped my PNG, and within 5 minutes, he came into my DMs. It was like, "You're cool. We're friends now." I was like, "Hello."
That didn't take long.
Yeah, I know that I joke like I joke that like being an introvert, you don't actually make friends, an extrovert just comes and adopts you and like throws you into their friend group. But that's really what just happened. Like it
That's
was
great. I like that.
it was so weird for me because I hadn't even hit affiliate yet when he was talking to me.
Hmm.
Like I was just missing the days of streaming requirement.
Right.
And so he was like, "You're really entertaining. I hope you get affiliate soon." And I was like, "Thanks," because he is like 10 times bigger than me, maybe even like 20 times. It just shocked me so much, and it's helped me so much. Like I think that it's definitely who you know, who you work with. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool to see
Yeah. Yeah.
how just who you speak to
Hmm.
helps with growing yourself.
Oh yeah, and how you speak to them. I mean, and all of
Yes.
that. How you present yourself, and there's so many different ways to do it. I use the word marketing because that's what it is,
Yes.
in many different ways. And some people do it through Discord, some people do it through Twitter, some people do it through all sorts of different ways. Some people do it through the wrong way,
Yeah,
and
for sure. There
they
is definitely the wrong way to market
yeah, there's
yourself.
very wrong, and
Um
or things that, or even almost worse than that, things that help you short term but not long term.
Yes, short-term help is great, but I feel like if you have short-term help and it goes fantastic, you need to have the personality to back it up.
Mm,
Because if you have people coming to your channel and being like, "Hey, I saw you on Twitter. I want to see what you're about," and you have the personality of a dead fish, nobody's gonna stick around.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
personality 100% plays into the short term because if
yeah,
you can bring them in, you just have to keep them there.
yeah. I've, I've, I've compared VTubing to the old radio DJ days, in that in the old radio DJ days, you could hear a song by a particular artist on all sorts of different stations in a market. However, people came back to that station based on the personality of the person playing the song. Um,
Yes, when I was growing up, my mom used to drive me to school pretty much every morning. I can't drive, so
hmm,
but she drove me to school every single morning, and every single morning we'd put on the radio because every single morning they would do a segment where they would just like they would catch cheaters,
yeah.
but it wasn't about the cheaters. It was about the way that the guy who was on the phone like secretly reacted
Mm.
because he'd be like, "And why are you sending flowers to Vanessa?" And he's like, "Ooh, he's in trouble."
Oh, hang up. It's best.
Yeah,
Just,
exactly. It's
uh,
so interesting. It's so cool to see them like try and worm their way out of it. And this
oh yeah,
radio host is just drilling them and is like, "Nah, I caught
yeah.
you."
That's the same type of thing that you guys have on VTubing, because if you play like Genshin Impact, and there are at any one time 200 people playing Genshin Impact maybe on the internet, but people will come back not for the game necessarily, but for the person playing them.
Yes, that is definitely something I have learned to navigate. I've had conversations with VTuber friends being like, "Hey, have you looked into this game? No, why do you suggest it?" because 5 other people are playing it, so there's a lot of people viewing it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like,
there's merit to that, but there's also,
yeah,
I mean, if you start playing it and you don't like the game, and maybe it's good for one show because
yes,
you
for
can
sure.
trash it and have fun with it, but don't go back and play it again and drag everybody else through your pain.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with not that I don't enjoy this game, it just wasn't performing well and it was kind of bothering me. So, I recently retired my Fallout Friday series because it just wasn't performing as well as I hoped it would. And while I absolutely love the Fallout series and I
Mm,
will continue to play it on my off time, it was like a nobody is showing up to this because it's a game that's so overdone
mm,
that while I enjoy it, it's negatively impacting my mood
mm,
to have nobody there.
mm.
So I just retired it. Instead, we did a community day.
Yeah,
It also helped that Fallout broke on stream. So
yeah.
I was
Oops.
like, okay, guys, let's play Fallout. Never mind. We're gonna
Yeah.
do a community day.
Well, that's an example of something that came back um, outside of the efforts of the game manufacturers because the series, the series came out and people got interested in Fallout again, um,
Yes.
and now that the series is in between, that's going to start like it might come back later, but
Mhm.
but frankly, Fallout I could play every day,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I mean I can't get four to run, but I can do all the other ones.
You see, I've been playing 4 recently because I broke New Vegas.
Oh, how'd you break New Vegas?
Um, this is gonna sound stupid. I'm an idiot. So, um, I was going through my computer because I play on a laptop, so I'm like
Hmm.
working to upgrade to a actual tower computer right now.
Hmm.
But I was uninstalling games that I need to like so that I could get that I don't need so that I could get space on my laptop, and then I accidentally clicked Fallout New Vegas instead of
Oh,
Fallout 3, and I
ah,
uninstalled it, and my mods couldn't find the game when I reinstalled it.
oh
So when
no.
I tried to boot the game up, all of the mods that were like keeping the game afloat were gone,
Uh,
and it just crashed.
oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
So
Uh,
I'm an idiot.
uh, well, I mean, yeah, it's just a mistake. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, no, I have said several times in the past, I'm intelligent, I'm not smart.
There is a difference. Yes.
There is a difference. I
Mm.
am very intelligent. I am not very smart.
Yes, I have an IQ of 175, but I can't tie my shoes.
Fun fact, I don't know how to tie my shoes the way normal people do.
See, there you go.
Like a lot of people do the loop through method, but when I was trying to learn that, it just messed me out so much that the person who was taking care of me at that point was just like, just do bunny ears. Just do bunny ears and tie them together. And I was like, that works.
Oh, I had to.
And even now at the age of 20, I've been tying them bunny ears my whole life.
Oh, I had a problem because I was left-handed, and people were trying to
Oh.
teach me how to do things right-handed. So when I do it now, it's like a mix of the two, and it's never really right. I just
Yeah.
I just keep twisting it until those are not.
Then hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just until it stays there, that's fine. I'm too old now to worry about it. The so what do you got plans for your channel? Have you got anything big coming up?
Yes, the reason we are doing Streamtober is because I have a huge reveal to do on Halloween,
Mm,
which is why we are doing huge stream on Halloween.
yeah.
I have been working closely with my model mama, who she is so funny because she came to me and was like, "Hey, I've never made a PNG tuber before. You want one?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that's how I got
You
started.
can say who it is if you'd
I
like.
am I am my model mama's guinea pig for
Uh,
pretty much
yeah,
everything.
you can say who she is if
Um,
you'd like.
oh yes, Bubbly Blue Jelly on pretty much all social medias. She's absolutely wonderful.
There you go.
She is a very good friend of mine, just like
Mm.
outside of streaming, and it's so funny how we met because it was a very out of character moment for me where I saw an artist who had a much bigger following than me, and out of nowhere I texted her and was like, "You seem really cool. I want to be friends." And we've been friends ever since. And it was completely out of character for me. And I even said in the message, this is weird for me. However,
You must be my friend.
I I feel like it was in my more extroverted days because I feel like as it sounds weird, but as you get older, I feel like you become less and less extroverted because you just start to realize that like people are kind of overrated
Oh,
sometimes.
wait till you're my age. You all you want to do is keep the covers on and stay in bed most of the
That's already what I want to do.
time. So you're well on your way. Congratulations.
Perfect.
It's good to hear that this is something you obviously are enjoying and it's a big part of your life, and you're getting so much joy out of it because I can hear it in your voice for one.
Yes, it's something that I've been super proud of. My this sounds silly, but my parents are active members of my uh streams.
Mm.
Like they are so supportive, and when I told them I was going to be a streamer, my dad like left work early so he could stay for my debut.
Wow.
And he was just like, I, he like marked it on his calendar. My mom was like, haha, what's on that day? And he replied, my child's first stream. And I was just like, oh,
Oh,
like they're so proud of me. And
yeah.
it's so cute to see, we call them Dadawa and Mamawa. It's so funny to see them in chat sometimes, just hanging out.
Yeah. And that means they're also keeping an eye on what you're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely rein it in a little when I know that they're watching.
That's when 18 plus goes down to 6 plus.
Maybe like 16 plus. Like I don't bring out all of my raunchiest jokes, but I do play Cards Against Humanity with them, so they know that I'm a
Oh,
terrible person at heart.
oh yes, that'll do it in a hurry. You know, they actually have a version of that for kids.
You see, we looked at the family friendly version because my grandmother is the sweetest person you've ever met. And we were like, well, if there's a family friendly version, then like maybe we could play it with her. We cannot play it with her. Even the family friendly version is bad.
Well, we my grandson has got a copy of it, uh,
Oh, cute.
and I can tell you this, um, he wins every time.
Oh, funny kid,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, well, just the most ridiculous stuff, and I'm a big fan of ridiculous, so that's
Oh, yes, ridiculous is good.
yeah, he's really good at it. But the games that you're playing right now, so
Yes.
you've dropped off the Fallout series. What are you in right
Mhm.
now?
Um, we don't have any series right now. We recently finished The Wolf Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be bringing back Telltale Tuesday probably next week or probably after this month because I am doing horror month.
Mm-hmm.
But the next series that I'm like officially doing is we're going to do the Telltale series The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that is such a iconic one, and I have never played it. I have never seen The Walking Dead, despite growing up in the city it was filmed in. Like, I have been so removed from The Walking Dead, and it blew Bubbly Blue Jelly's mind when I was like, oh yeah, I've never actually like I think I've seen like the first like hour of
Oh,
the Telltale series for that game, and she was like, "You what?" So
you,
she bought me the game, and
uh,
that's kind of what spiraled into the Telltale series that we're
oh,
doing, which is Telltale Tuesday.
well,
Um,
I can tell you that I haven't seen a whole lot of it myself, but you're in for a treat.
Everybody tells me I'm gonna cry, so I told Blue that she has to make me a cry toggle.
Oh, she'll do it. She'll do it just to see
Yeah,
you cry
she'll
on
do
stream. Uh,
it.
what's your
uh,
long? What do you have any long term goals for what you want to do? I mean, obviously you want to be successful, and you got good
um,
momentum going.
I do have long-term goals, and I feel like a lot of them are silly, but I would like to, it does come back to success. It always comes back to success. I would like to be successful enough one day that I can be a stay-at-home mom.
Mm,
Like, that's my biggest goal with streaming.
yeah.
Or even if I don't get to be a stay-at-home mom, at least work less hours so I can spend more time with my kids one day.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but another goal is I want to feel comfortable. Like, I want to be able to be myself on the internet and have people like me for that
Hmm.
because I was not popular growing up.
Hmm.
I I grew up in Bible Belt, Georgia as a queer kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I was bullied quite a lot. And, senior year, I think that I finally started to like figure out who I was and start to blossom a little. And even then, I only had like maybe 5 friends. So I
Right.
posted recently on Twitter talking about how every time I see 6 or more people in my viewing, I get a little emotional
Yeah.
because it's like that doesn't sound like a big number. That sounds like such a nothing number in the grand scheme of streaming. Like most people, it's like, oh, you have less than 20 viewers. That's nothing. But for me, I just can't imagine being friends with 6 or more people and
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with them all at the same time. So it's so nice to just like have people there. I think that's my goal. It's just have people hang out with me
Yeah.
and just be there.
Yeah. And not only that, but have 6 people want to hang out with you.
Yes, like I know that it's silly when my notification goes live. I always put the name of the game in there because I'd always say like, "Hey, I made some coffee and cake. Won't you join me and play insert game here?" And that's what it is pretty much every single time because I know that people come for me, but I also want them to know what they're showing up for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did I look at my statistics a lot, and I perform better when I tell the people what game we're playing today.
We're
So
we're
I think
playing
that,
we're playing Barbie's Horse Adventure today.
oh, I
Crash.
should add that to my list. That's going on the July streams.
Put it in the middle of the horror streams. That'll be the
Yeah,
horror
in the
of Barbie.
middle of July, it's like, so I know we just finished Amnesia, but we're gonna play Barbie.
And that right hook comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, of course.
Score. Hey,
I
it is an absolute treat to meet you and talk with you.
Of course,
It-
it's great to be here.
and I do appreciate you coming on. It sounds like you've got all your ducks in a row, and you've got a great momentum, and your feet on the ground, and you're gonna just you're gonna destroy that goal by Halloween coming up. I don't think there's any
Yeah,
doubt
we're
about that.
planning right now for when I do inevitably go over the follow
Yeah.
goal.
Well, I tell you this: before you get started on uh, that Halloween and that October thing, come back and we'll talk about it before we do it. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
And we gotta do some marketing.
Of course. It's the most important part of
And get it
streaming.
going. I do appreciate you coming on. You seem like everything's going well for you, and I wish you nothing but
Yeah,
the
I had
best.
fun.
We're nothing but the best for you. Okay?
Of course.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.